Hey everybody, welcome to Learning with Music. Now you may know that in music that these two numbers on top of each other are called a time signature. But do you really know what each number means? Well, the top number is actually pretty easy. It tells you how many beats or counts are in each measure of music. Measures, also known as bars, break up the music into smaller pieces to make it easier to play and to rehearse. So if the top number is a 4, all we do is count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. Pretty easy to be a musician, you don't have to count that high. But what about the bottom number? Now, the bottom number tells you what type of note is getting one beat in music. Now let's look at the most popular time signature for 4 time. It's also known as common time. Well, that's right. It's so common that most composers just write the letter C instead of the numbers. That started way back in the olden days when music was written by hand. Yes, and before the printing press was invented, every copy of music that was made was also written by hand. So that's a lot of work. The music could be hard to read too at times. All right, the history lesson's over. Let's sing a song to help us learn what the numbers mean in the time signature. Now that we changed the bottom number, here we go. You got a 4 on the bottom quarter, note gets 1 beat. You got a 4 on the bottom half, note gets 2 beat. You got a 4 on the bottom whole, note gets 4 beat. You got a 4 on the bottom 2, 8 notes in a beat. Oh yeah. You got a 2 on the bottom half, note gets 1 beat. You got a 2 on the bottom whole, note gets 2 beat. Oh yeah. You got a 1 on the bottom whole, note gets 1 beat. You got a 1 on the bottom 2, half notes in a beat. You got a 1 on the bottom 4 quarters in a beat. Oh yeah. You got an 8 on the bottom, the 8 note gets 1 beat. You got an 8 on the bottom quarter, note gets 2 beat. You got an 8 on the bottom half, note gets 4 beats. Oh yeah. Now let's talk about the top number for a little bit. Now there are 3 numbers you'll often see on the top of the time signature: a 2, a 3, or a 4. And they tell you the meter of the piece of music. Now, 2/4 time is called duple meter because duple means 2. Yeah, that's a good example. A duplex is like 2 houses in 1. Here's an example of duple time. Now, 3/4 time is called triple meter because it's groupings of 3. Yeah, I guess it would be like triple play in baseball. What does that look like?
He's played right field in the first 2 games of this series. Over toward third, this could be a double play, if not a triple play. It is! Around the horn, 5-4-3.
Whoa, you don't see that very often, do you? Here's an example of 3/4 time or triple meter. All right, now let's go back to common time or 4/4 time. Now it's also known as quadruple meter because quadruple means 4. Yeah, that's a very good example of quadruple. A quadruple or a quad in figure skating is 4 turns in one jump. Let's see what that looks like. That's impossible. All right, here's an example of quadruple time, 4/4 time. So there's the basics of what a time signature is. Now let's sing one more song just to make sure we remember what the top and bottom number means in a time signature. Ready, and you got 4 on the bottom quarter, note gets 1 beat. You got 4 on the bottom quarter, note gets 1 beat. You got a 2 on the bottom half, note gets 1 beat. You got a 2 on the bottom half, note gets 1 beat. You got a 1 on the bottom whole, note gets 1 beat. You got a 1 on the bottom whole, note gets 1 beat. You got an 8 on the bottom 8, note gets 1 beat. You got an 8 on the bottom 8, note gets 1 beat. Oh yeah. One more thing we got to talk about before we end this video, and that is this guy right behind me here, Ludwig van Beethoven. Now, if you haven't heard of Beethoven, you need to check him out because he's one of the best composers that ever lived. And all the music we heard today was written by Beethoven. So go ahead and check him out, Ludwig van Beethoven. All right, guys, take care. See you next time.